What is up, Internet Land? Zachamus Prime, aka Zachamus Prime, here with another Transformers video review. So some time ago, I put a little poll up on my YouTube page, and I asked whether you guys wanted me to review the core class Dinobots separately as they came out, or all in one video when they were all released. And I only got like 2 votes on it, but it was unanimous that I should review it all at once. So here's the review for the entire set of core class Dinobots and their combined form Volcanicus. And I'm just going to throw them all out here. Here's Slag, Slug, Slag, Slug, Sludge. Poor Sludge. Look how they massacred my boy. Swoop, arguably the best of them. I'm going to need to move them over a little bit more if I want them to be centered. The new guy, Scar, but with 2 R's, so it's like Scar, like a pirate, like a pirate. Grimlock, the only Dinobot without an S name. And Snarl, who doesn't fit. Why did I know? Why did I know that that was going to happen? Da, 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 da. So yeah, these are all core class figures. So, of course, core class figures are fairly simplified Transformers. Made to be like an impulse purchase or whatnot. You pick it up and you're like, it's only like $10, so you buy it. Next thing you know, you end up with like a $60 combiner that I have thoughts about. But yeah, where do I start? You know what? I'm gonna start with Sludge. Let's just get him out of the way. Sludge, what has happened to you, brother? What have they done to you? He did not make the transition into a combiner very well. I'll just say that much. Yeah, they've got this weird thing going on where his hips are like outside of his legs. They've kind of made this section here to look like this is supposed to be his thigh, and that's like the nubbin of his leg up in there. Like it's all supposed to be connected, and this place is just like hanging off the side of his leg. But how it actually works is that is his leg joint there on the side, and this is his thigh rotation, and it's just weird, man. It also didn't help that like this was the first one that they came out with. And so like we all got to look at that and we're like, dude, what the F is going on with my combiners, with my Dinobots? Look how they massacred my boy. But anyhow, in terms of accessories, he comes with absolutely nothing. He doesn't get anything at all. Maybe you can give him the like tuning fork. You can give him Skywarp's tuning fork or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, he don't got anything at all. In terms of articulation, you can rotate his head. You can rotate his arms all the way around. They're on a ball joint. They got that far. No arm swivel, no hand swivel, no swivels of any kind, in fact. He does have... no, that's transformation. It don't work while he's in robot mode. He does have a waist joint, surprisingly, though it is really high up. He's got a single skirt armor here. You can bend his leg forward that far back. Goes out for a surprising amount of Van Damme. He's got a thigh swivel. He's got a leg swivel. It's not a thigh, but it's a leg. His knee will bend that far. Normally I would look at that and say, oh yeah, that's a decent range of motion. And I guess technically it is, but like, bruh. So yeah, there he is. He's yeah, he looks awful. He looks awful, but he is a thing, and he does a thing. And I'm gonna lower this down so that we can get a better look at everything. Yeah. Let's bring this in. Let's get a little more intimate. And let's get him transformed up. So what we want to do is take this guy here and fold this around. Take these legs. I believe what we want to do, rotate that around 180 degrees. Bring these up. They will like tab into each other. Ish. Tab these into each other. Fish his arms through that little hole there. They'll tab in there. And that clicks in. And now we have... Damn boy, he's got them thunder thighs. Woo! It's just like... No wonder they called them thunder lizards. He's like, oh, my ass is dummy thick. I can't run away from the T-Rex because of them slapping of my cheeks. They do this, it's not like a silver paint. I don't know exactly how to describe it. It's almost like a pearlescent whitish kind of thing. It looks really good. They put it on here. They've got it on several of these figures actually, but it looks pretty good. In this mode, there's nothing. Nothing moves. His legs don't move. His head don't move. His nothing moves. You can see right through him too. But yeah, there he is. And I'm gonna throw him off to the side, and we'll just grab a next one at will, which apparently is slag, and he's all right. He's all right. He actually, well, I don't know that I would say that he looks most like his regular counterparts, but he actually looks pretty decently like his regular counterparts. In terms of accessory, he just comes with this one little gun thing here. More on that later. But he can hold it in either hand, and I guess if you want to, you can store it here on his back. And that's a thing. That's a thing that can be done if you want. In terms of articulation, his head is on a ball joint, an actual ball joint. It's the whole dino head. And he looks left and right and up and down, really not at all. His arms are on this kind of like a universal joint kind of a thing. So they'll go that far up and he'll go out, and they'll actually go all the way out because that's a transformation detail. He's got the appropriate wing thingamajigs. They wiggle a little bit. He's got a waist joint. Nice. I think all these guys have waist joints, actually, if I'm thinking correctly, and I think that I am. Hips go that far forward, that far back, go out for the full Van Damme. He's got a ball jointed knee, which gives him a lot of range of articulation. Also is like a little bit of a swivel. He's got your, a fair amount of core class posability. No elbows. Elbows are for suckers. You sign up for elbows, you don't get them. He can rotate this little foot around though if you want. I like to use them as, like an enhanced kickstand for him, so that, because some of these guys, especially with like iffy heel details, they have a little bit of trouble like standing up. And if you just you plonk these down, and now he's just like solid posing, because his legs are stupidly huge. Let's get him in an action pose. Action pose. Yes. Yeah. But anyhow, getting this guy transformed up is also super simple. You take this mouth and you close it over his face. Goodbye, face. You take these arms, bring them all the way out, rotate them, and then just bring them down like this. So do the same with this. Rotate that, bring that down like that. His legs are going to turn into his legs. By which I mean his legs are going to turn into his back legs. Clip those parts together, and then just everything kind of chunks together. And then this will clip in right here, making like his tail, but only in the vaguest way possible. I did say vaguest, not Vegas. And there he is. He is suspiciously reminiscent of a frog. I don't know why, but he is to me. That's what I look at him and I think that he looks more like a frog than a triceratops. But yeah, in this mode, his head doesn't really move because his head only moves independently of his lower jaw, which means it doesn't really move. You can open and close his mouth just a little bit. You can move his legs, move this out a little bit, move that, and that's it. That's all that he does. That's all that he does. But yeah, we'll put him off to the side as well, and we'll bring out the new guy. This is Scar, and Scar is a transformer of some sort. He does have that kind of like classic silver and gold with a little bit of red, black head. You know, like he fits the design aesthetic of a Dinobot fairly well, I would say. I think that there's potential here. It'd be cool if we got like a bigger Scar. But yeah, in terms of accessories, he comes with this gun. That's absolutely a gun. That's totally not a fist. You're crazy if you think it is. That's a gun. Look at that gun. Maybe it's a tail. I don't know. But his head rotates. He's got a butterfly joint. It's actually a transformation, but no, shut the hell up. He's got a butterfly joint on his arms and a ball joint, so they go all the way around and they go out that far. He's got a waist swivel. His legs move that far forward, that far back. He's got a ball jointed knee with a huge amount of range. They rotate, and he can wiggle his leg on his leg. He's like, yo, dog, I heard you like legs, so I put a leg on your leg so you can walk while you walk, or whatever you do with your legs. Usually walk. And that's it for him. There he is from the back. And let's get him transformed up. So first thing you want to do is put his arms together. Put your hands together if you want to rap. I'm going to stop right there. Put his legs together, fold them up, and then clip this head over his head. And then you really just kind of fold this guy up so that it fits in there, and then like put these feet down and put these feet down and put this on there. And honestly, he kind of looks like a potato. Like a spiky potato. Lots of that silverish, pearlescent-ish paint app on him. It looks actually quite good. And, he's got a tail. That's totally a tail. That's absolutely a tail. That is not a fist. That is a tail. If you think that it's not a tail, you're arguably, objectively, and completely wrong. But, yes. So there he is. And we're going to move him off to the side. And next I'll bring out Swoop. Now, Swoop, I think, is arguably the best out of all of these figures. He looks great. He's not overcome with kibble. He's got hollowness on his legs, but he's not like overcome with hollow, janky looking bits. He's got good proportions. He's got all of his joints, including like a ball jointed head, ball jointed shoulders, ball jointed elbows, ball jointed hips. hinges at the knees, like he's got everything. This is a great looking figure. If you were to pick one up just because it might look like a Dinobot, this is the one that looks most like how he's supposed to look. In terms of accessories, he comes with 2 guns with underslung ammo clips. That's what they are, of course, ammo. And he dual wields. So I guess if you really want to, you could take one of his guns and give it to Sludge to make up for Sludge not having any weapon, because he comes with 2 weapons. So they still come, the team of 6 still comes with 6 weapons amongst all of them. They may have to share a little bit. Like I mentioned, his head goes all the way around. It looks all the way up so they can be like in the like flying poses. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. His shoulders, like I mentioned, are on ball joints. They'll go all the way around. If you move the wing out of the way, they'll go out for the full Van Damme. No, for the full tree pose. He's got a ball jointed elbow which also works kind of like a swivel for 90 degrees, and the swivel. He's got a waist swivel. His hips will clank into his pterodactyl beak, but you know what? You can just swing that schwang out of the way. Leg goes that far forward, that far back. Goes out for the full Van Damme thigh swivel. Single jointed knee for 180 degrees of bend. Damn. You can move his wings about. This is like, you can bring this around and kind of peg that in. I think this is kind of the standard way to have him, but of course you can bring his wings out for the full wingspan and flappy flap them. And yeah, they're actually really good. He's just a fun little figure. I dig him. He's great, actually. Unironically good. Certainly the best out of this lot. To transform him up, you want to just raise his head all the way up. Raise this to match that. It will click, latch, swoop, I don't know, into place. And then you just peg his legs together and go like this. There are 2 tabs here and there are 2 slots here. And that's where they go. And then these arms, you've got a tab and a slot there, and then a tab and a slot there. And his arm just kind of clunks into place down here and in here. And then that's basically it. That's all you got there. You can take his guns and you can tab them into, how does this go? It goes like this. Yes. There's a square tab and a square peg here, or sorry, a round peg here. And then there's a couple like hollow spaces in here. If you line up with this hole right here, then that square tab will fall into a one of those gaps automatically. So you just kind of do that and plug it in. Now he's got underslung weapons, and honestly, that also looks quite good. Like, this is a good looking swoop. Swoop is one of those designs that seems to be difficult to like really mess up, even in the absolutely awful Energon set of Grimlock and Swoop. The Swoop was pretty decent, and the Grimlock was complete ass. So Swoop is a hard figure to mess up. And we'll bring out Grimlock, the only Dinobot who does not have an S name. Did I mention that already? I think I did. I don't remember. And he's like, he gets the Grimlock aesthetic mostly, but like also he kind of, I don't know. It's such a... So here's the thing, is that Grimlock, for whatever reason, he will, spoiler alert, turn into a leg. And like, I feel like I feel like Grimlock is a simple enough design, even as he was as a masterpiece figure, even as he was like all along the board. He's a simple enough design that you can turn him into a core class figure without any compromises. But they compromised it because they needed him to turn into something else. And I feel like, I don't know, I feel like they compromised too much. Like he could have maintained a lot of that design, that Grimlock design, and still like turned into a leg or whatever they needed him to turn into. But I don't know. He comes with the one weapon. It's got that silver paint app on it. It plugs in. It looks vaguely reminiscent of his blaster that he has traditionally. His head is on a swivel. It will swivel all about, actually. His arms are on ball joints. They'll go around. You can put them all the way around if you get this back kibble somewhere out of the way. I'm not sure if this back kibble is supposed to stick up or if it's supposed to stick down. Like, traditionally, you would have it stick down, but it would also sit like much higher on his back. And so this looks super weird to me. This one is inside out and also too high, so it still looks weird. And I'm like, well, if it looks weird either way, I'm going to have it be the weird that doesn't hinder his like waist posability as much. So that's why I've done it this way. I don't have instructions for these, so I don't know exactly how it's supposed to go. But yeah, so his head is on a swivel. His arms will go all the way around if you get that kibble out of the way. He does have a swivel here at the wrist. Technically a butterfly joint too. Waist swivel there. Leg goes that far forward, that far back. Goes out for the full Van Damme. Again, you've got a ball jointed knee, though this one really doesn't want to swivel, so it just bends for that much. And that's all you got for him. To get him transformed up, you just fold this around, close up this doohickey here, and it will just close over his head like normal. Plug his legs in together. I'm not quite sure what this is. You'll notice that these notches on the bottom of his feet, one of them is significantly larger than the other. I don't know why. I really don't, because it doesn't factor into his it doesn't factor into his Dino mode. It doesn't factor into his combined mode. It doesn't factor into his robot mode. By the way, you do want to take this little peg here and bring it up and put it into his neck. See, it doesn't factor into that mode either, so I don't know what it's there for. I don't know what it does. I'm super curious. If anyone knows, please tell me, because I haven't figured it out yet. And then this tail, plug it right there. And there he is. And damn, that dump truck. He doesn't stand on his feet because that has to be way too thick. But you can tripod him on his tail, which is, again, an acceptable way to display Grimlock. So, damn, that ass be thick. But that's it. That's it for him. We're going to put him to the side. And last but certainly not least is my favorite. My favorite Dinobot is Snarl. I've been looking for a leader class Snarl for so long. And I'm never going to find one. I don't think I'm ever going to find one unless I feel like spending like $150 for one. Which I don't currently. So. But anyhow. There he is. He's the only one that doesn't come with a gun. And I kind of feel that the reason he didn't come with a gun is because the leader class one doesn't come with a gun. And maybe somebody feels like that's a traditional or typical or proper way to do it. I don't know. But it's none of those, of course. But yeah, he comes with his little sword. It's got. Yeah, I'm gonna see. I'm gonna grab a figure that's handy. Is this an actual 5mm peg? Oh my god, it is. It is. That's an actual 5mm peg on the outside of his like core. So yeah, that's like that becomes a dagger. If I ever do get my hands on the leader class Snarl, I definitely want to pose him with the core class Snarl sword, which would just be like a toothpick on him. Actually, I've got leader class handy. I'll take this and put it on his other hand. Raise this up. Yeah, that's just hilarious. I love it. That's hilarious. Hilarious. But anyhow, in terms of articulation, his head is on a swivel, like any good fighter pilot. He's got a butterfly joint here, which is mostly just for transformation, but we'll take it. Arm goes around that much until it clashes into his kibble. It goes out for most of a tree pose. He's got an elbow joint. He's got an elbow joint with significant posability on it. That's nice. That's actually quite nice. He's got a waist joint. His legs go that far forward, that far back, goes out for most of a Van Damme. I think this is also the only guy that doesn't have, no, he's not the only one, but he doesn't have ball jointed knees, which makes them feel more solid, even though it does completely remove any sort of thigh swivel replacement, because he doesn't have a thigh swivel either. And that's it for him. To transform him up, you want to rotate his head around, fold this tail and clip it together. You want to basically fold his arm in like so. And we're just going to pretend now that these are feet. Bend his knee part way and then fold out the dino head. Do that with the other side of his body and then clip those into place. Tab these legs together and then they will tab into the back. And then you'll take these, there's a hollow space there and a tab there, this little like weird triangular tab. And you just chunk those into there like that. And then this, you can just like clunk onto his top, onto his back. And he can carry it into battle. Gosh, he's so low to the ground. Like his face is just like skidding the ground when he goes along. And there he is. He's tiny. But yeah, let's bring them all out. Let's bring them all out so we can get the full the full set. And there you have a pile of Dinobots. As a team, I mean, they're all right. They're all right. They're not awful. I've seen worse. I've seen, the like Power of the Primes set of Dinobots, which, well, I don't know. But like, I'd like to say that I've seen worse. They're definitely, I mean, you only pay $10 for one of these figures, which in today's Transformer market is dirt cheap. You're hardly paying for anything, so ta-da! But yeah, that's not all. No, we will combine them up. So let's go on and do these again, one by one by one. We're just going to start where we were just a second ago with Snarl. We're going to take and disconnect this. You want to transform his legs out and fold the head in like so, and then you want to plug these back in together. Disconnect this block. This whole thing comes off, and then this little tab will come out. And then what you're gonna do is, I believe it goes like this. What you're gonna do is, these arms are gonna come together, and you'll see that there's a tab and a slot here, and then you've got these. Oh man, no, I had it right before. You've got this little series of twin tabs right here on the arm. Those will plug into his dick. Like so. And then this will tab into basically, you're going to take these two pegs and plug them into those two holes there. We'll take this and plug this in the other way around. And then this leg will come around and you'll tab these two tabs into these slots right here. And that is one Dinobot all done. Put that to the side. We're going to take Grimlock, and we're also going to turn him into a leg by starting with plugging these in together. We're going to put these out like so. These will just tab in. You're going to plug this from there, flip it around, and plug it in there. And then you're going to split this part here, bring this down over his head, and that is another leg all done. You're going to take your Thickosaurus here, and you're going to basically want to transform him most of the way into his robot mode. Because what's going to happen is you're going to bend these legs all the way up, and then you'll see that this is a tab right here, and this is a slot right here. So you'll bend the leg all the way and then rotate it so that that slot flips right over that tab. And we'll do the same with the other side. Boom, boom. And then for this, we want to open his arms, bring his arms facing up. And then this is basically how he be, right like so. And we'll put him off to the side. For this guy, how you want to do it is kind of disconnect this, swing these guys all the way out. You want to open up this mouth like so, but we're not going to do anything. I think we want to take these arms and flip them around, though. Disconnect the tail. Bring these legs up. I don't know. I don't remember if they go like this or if they go like this. We'll figure it out when we get it together. How about that? You want to disconnect this part from his weapon. And that will plug in there to be the head. Again, I thought that was kind of weird that this guy is the leg, body, and head. This one, you don't want to do anything with at the moment. It will like plug in. Basically what happens. Well, I'll get to it when I get to it. How about that? In the meantime, we'll just put that there. So that's it. Basically like so. This guy, disconnect his tail. That's a tail, damn it. Not anything else, of course. Fold his legs all the way around. Open this up. You want to rotate his hips. Ooh, that hasn't happened yet before. bring out this tab and then reconnect this. It's totally a fist onto the end of his body like that. And there you have another one done. And then last but not least of them is swoop. You want to disconnect his weapons like so. Fold out his legs. You're going to kind of disconnect them from there. Rotate this around 180 degrees. You've got a tab right here that you're going to bring out. And then you're going to plug these together and bet you didn't notice, but these also make a fist, which you're going to take these little slots here and plug them into these tabs. And now he is all together. And now we're going to raise this up. I'm going to fold these wings in just a little bit. And we're gonna do the final combination on this. So what you want to do for this is you're gonna have basically so I did want to put it the other way around, didn't I? Yes, I did. And then these tabs fit into those slots. I noticed that earlier and I didn't do anything about it. But basically, you're going to have, this is going to plug into there like so, or like, yeah. So this plugs into this chest there. You don't have that open. I lied. Now you've got 3 pegs here and 3 holes here. These are all going to peg into each other. You do have to combine this. There's no way to put this weapon on afterwards. You need to put it on first. Combine these all up together. I had it and then I undid it and then now I'm having trouble getting it again. Isn't that just the style? All right, now with those together, you want to take these slots here, these holes in the arms, and peg them into those pegs real quick, like so and like so. You've got, these are the feet, but you'll see that these tabs are off center. It's closer to that side than it is to this side, and opposite on this one. That's because these are specific legs. So you want to plug this into that leg and this into that hole right there. And then you can plug this tab into that port right there. And then last but not least, and this one needs a little bit of support because of the way the tab is designed. Just cram your thumb in behind it and then press it in. And now you have Volcanicus in his combined mode, and he looks... it's rough, man. He looks like a janky, like, mess of, you know, several disparate things that were not meant to go together, and somebody somehow crammed them all together. His legs seem way too short. His arms seem way too long. His body actually looks pretty coherent for the most part. Yeah, these legs, I guess we will put them up. It's a thing. It's definitely something that exists. And I don't know that I can say that I like it. It's weird. I do like combiners, and I do like that we got a combiner made of core class figures. And I think that it would be great if we can continue to do this. I keep on supporting combiners. Well, with the somewhat glaring exception of Menasor, I haven't done a Menasor, mostly because I haven't found any of the Menasor parts that I needed, and I haven't bought them online either. But yeah, I keep supporting combiners because I love combiners, and I just if we have enough support for combiners, maybe we'll get a good combiner someday. But honestly, as I'm sitting here, probably Menasor was it. Menasor was probably the good combiner that I was looking for, and I just never supported it because I don't have a lot of feels for the Stunticons. But yeah, so there he is. There he is from the front. There he is from the back. In terms of articulation, his head is on a post, so it swivels. His arms are on a post, so they swivel and they go out that far. I guess you can use that as a rotation joint. There's not really any elbow to speak of, though. I mean, you can use these legs to kind of curl that in. And the same with the other side. He's got that peg and that swivel and a waist, and yeah. He does have his own waist joint. Well, actually, it's Sludge's waist joint, but he uses it, makes full use of it. His legs will go that far forward and that far back, and they'll go out for that much of a Van Damme. He has a thigh swivel, but it's on a peg, so I don't even know if that's supposed to count. Though since this is a peg, you can technically rotate it at the knee, though I don't know that that's a very solid connection. If you rotate that, it's just gonna come straight out. So and that's it. No other articulation. Now, I really did want to get this review handled because there are a couple accessory sets for this guy that are going to turn, hopefully, a crappy combiner into a good combiner, a good looking combiner. And my buddy that loaned me this full set here has got both of them on order. And so I'm going to review them both as well, and we're going to see which one we like better. And so I will share that with you guys as well. But as for now, that's all I've got for now. It's a fun concept, and on that merit alone, I can recommend it, though I can't recommend it in terms of like aesthetics or engineering, but it's a fun concept. So if fun concepts is your thing, then it's a recommendation from me. If aesthetics is your thing, then maybe you might want to pass on this guy or see what he looks like with the accessory kits. I don't know. But anyhow, that's all I got for the day. Thanks for everybody for watching. If you have watched until the end, you are fantastic, and I love you. And if you haven't watched to the end, well then, I don't know. But everybody, thanks for watching. You guys are awesome. Stay good. Stay awesome and be good to each other. See ya.